I'm Susie Hassan, and I'm the Gadget Queen. And on today's episode, it is all about melons. I've got the perfect setup to show you how to cut these melons super quick, super easy, and we are gonna have some fun this summer. Follow me and I'll show you what's in my Gadget kitchen. Okay, so when it comes to watermelon, there's nothing better to bring on a picnic or taking it to that family barbecue. The only thing is, it is so much hassle to cut these in the right shapes. And I'll tell you, when it comes to cutting these, I do not raise my hand because it's always a mess and it's always juices everywhere and dripping everywhere. But I found the perfect gadget to get you the perfect watermelon slices. All right, take a look at this big thing. Oh my God, you've seen an apple core, right? Take a look at this thing. Oh man, this is for all size watermelons. Oh my God. So we're gonna get the perfect slices with this big slicer. So here's how it works. So all you do is take a watermelon. Now for us today, I'm using a little watermelon, okay? Because it's just me. If I got one of those big watermelons, I'd have watermelons for weeks, okay? So we're just using a little one today. So to use this, it's super, super easy. So you're just gonna cut off just a little bit from the top. Set that aside. You have your watermelon ready to go. Now I'm gonna take my slicer and I'm gonna slice right through it and get a perfect slice. Here we go. Did you see that? How beautiful was that? Look at these perfect watermelon slices. I don't have juice everywhere. I don't have a sticky knife all over the place. This is perfect. And you can do this, and if you want, you can actually put all the pieces together and just put saran wrap over them and take them to the picnic that way, or just at your house, you can keep it like this, or you can just open them up and serve them and they're ready to go. Now, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and pop this middle out. Now, it's so funny, when I first made this, my husband and I were fighting over the middle, because take a look. It's this big chunk, just this little funnel of watermelon. Oh my God, this thing is so perfect, so good. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside because this is gonna be one of those that's gonna be like the wishbone. Everyone's gonna be fighting over the middle of the watermelon, so this is so fun. So I'm gonna put this off to the side. I'm going to remove that just to show you all of the perfect pieces. Now I'm keeping them in this really pretty petal form because I'm actually gonna put a dip right in the center. So I'm just gonna move this off to the side and I'm gonna get on to my next watermelon. Okay, now this next gadget is probably one of my favorites because it just has this really funky look to it. So there's this little pinwheel on the end and it actually helps to not only cut up the watermelon but give you these perfect little chunks. Now at first glance you're like, this is too weird to even work, but I'm telling you that it does. So I'm gonna show you how this one works right now. Okay, now here I got a bigger watermelon, but really for this to work perfectly at its maximum peak, you really want a long watermelon. So this thing can just chugga, chugga, chugga all the way down the watermelon, okay? So here, I'm actually gonna cut this lengthwise so that way I get a longer piece of watermelon. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to business. Get this going. All right. Okay, so now I'm ready to go ahead and use this cool slicer. All right, so the way you want to use this is there is a metal piece here on the end, and that kind of helps dig the little pinwheel into the watermelon, and then it'll give us all the pieces. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna put them in, and you're gonna watch how this works. So here we go. You see that first one's getting ready to pop in there. So now it's gonna come in on the other side. So do you see that? That chunk is coming out. So there's that one, and there's another one. So now I have perfectly cut watermelon. All right, so let's do a couple more sections. And again, this is just another great idea so you're not fumbling around with your watermelon. So now you can see you don't have to be so stressed out when you have to cut a watermelon. You know, it used to be stressed, depressed, lemon zest. Now it can actually be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We have the right gadgets, so now we have perfectly sliced and diced watermelon. All right, now let's get to melon balls. Okay, so now it's time for some more melon fun with little Mellow Man from our friends at Monkey Business. Now, a melon baller is a pretty common gadget that a lot of people do have or have at least seen, but I'm going to show you another fun way to actually use a melon ball that you might not have seen before. So when you want to use a melon ball, so you just pop it into the melon, and then you're going to give it a nice turn, and that's how you're going to get the perfect little ball shapes. Now for this, I've actually put together a little gumball melon machine because my little son Luke is gonna have his 1-year-old birthday party and he loves his little fruit veggie cartoon. So I'm doing a fruit theme and this is one of my little centerpieces that I'm putting on the tables. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this off and put my melon balls in there. And having a great melon baller is perfect, not just for parties or people coming over, but these are also really great for mixed drinks. And I'm gonna do some flavored vodka that is a melon ball soaked in flavored vodka. That's gonna be perfect for our summer barbecue and summer treats. All right, so I'm almost finished balling. Almost got plenty of gumballs in there. And of course, you can use little Mellow Man anywhere. Watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, and it's perfect. Perfect little centerpiece for a perfect little party. So the watermelon fun continues. If you think I've shown you every gadget, well, you're wrong. There's always one more gadget in the gadget kitchen. This one is a tree shaper for watermelons. It's actually called Peppo Forest because Peppo is melon in Italian, and our friends from Monkey Business have the Peppo Forest that we can make. So to make our Peppo Forest, we have our watermelon. Now we're gonna actually need to slice it into big circles so we can actually use the cutter. And you can make these watermelons as thin as you want, as thick as you want, because the cutter itself is pretty thick. So you kind of have a lot of wiggle room there to use the slicer. Okay, so all you're gonna do is just like a cookie, you're gonna go into the edge, because you still want that green, because remember we're making a forest. So I'm gonna take that green, I'm gonna put it over a little bit. Here we go. All right, I wanna fit at least 2 trees on this. There's 1. And then you can see I'm getting a perfect little watermelon tree. And that's my little forest. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut 1 more out of here. Here we go. Get a little bit more of that rind. All right. This is another really great way to entertain with watermelon and also come up with other ideas on how to cut it when you're serving it. You know, it's such a popular summer dessert. And here's just a couple fun ways to showcase it. Now, I can't leave this watermelon naked. They need a little jazzed up, they need some sauces, they need some cheese, and they definitely need some meat. So we're gonna come back with a little watermelon feta salad, and I'm gonna put some icing on our watermelon cookie here in a moment. Okay, so for the big chunks of watermelon that I cut up earlier, I'm gonna do a watermelon feta salad. Now this is a super easy salad. I love this really anytime you got watermelon that's available. So you're just gonna add some feta cheese, and then we have some mint. Just gonna give that just a little chop here, and just pop that in there. Really super simple, super easy. We're just gonna add a little olive oil, a little balsamic vinegar, and then I can't believe it, but there's even a Saltopia that has a balsamic glaze in there. All right, so now we got a little lime juice, little juice spruce here. Get all of my lime juice out. All right, perfect. And this, just a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Okay, and then a little balsamic salt. Now, a lot of times you'll see me using Saltopia and you'll see what seems like a lot of salt. It's not always salt, it's just seasoning. So it's not like, oh my God, there's so much salt on this. It's actually just flavoring and seasoning and things like that. So it's not always so salty. Okay, so now I'm just gonna give this a quick toss, and this salad is done, and I'm on to the icing for my watermelon forest. Okay, so watermelon cookie icing. Where am I going with this? All right, so just follow me and you're gonna see how fun these watermelon cookies are going to be. Okay, so for the icing, it's really simple. I'm just doing a little bit of yogurt. So just Greek yogurt, but it really should be plain. I guess you could do vanilla too. All right, so I'm gonna add some coconut to that. And then I'm gonna add some fresh mint. Okay. Pop some mint in there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of lime juice one more time. Now I'm just gonna give this a little mix. Okay. And this is going to be my little frosting that I'm gonna put on my watermelon cookies. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this little guy. Here he goes. I'm gonna go ahead and just spread that right on. And you can use this just as a dip too, but I think putting it like a cookie is probably the most fun. I mean, let me tell you, this is the perfect little appetizer, right? Now, it was hard for me to decide what I should do for the sprinkles because watermelon is such a summertime treat. I didn't want it to look like the holidays, okay? So I'm gonna do pink sprinkles because, hey, it's the Gadget Queen, and if you didn't think pink was my color, have you been watching the show? Okay, pink is my color. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of pink sprinkles right on the top. And that is my watermelon cookie. All right, I'm gonna finish the rest of these and get ready to cook some main dishes that are gonna go with all this beautiful watermelon.
Quality, prime, fresh meats, cut fresh and delivered fast straight to your door. With Happy to Meet You, we help you bring the steakhouse to your house. The mission is simple: to deliver delicious premium meats while guaranteeing freshness at a great value, all delivered straight to your home with 100% satisfaction guaranteed, because after all, we have our reputation at stake. For more information on our premium selections and how to order, go to www.happytomeetyou.com.
Okay, so I'm doing my little watermelon party, but I need something to go with it, and I just can't decide what I want. But luckily, I've got my Hestan Cue, which allows me to cook through an app. So I can cook whatever I want, and I don't even have to pay attention to what I'm doing. It actually will tell me what to do. So I'm gonna do two things today just to show you how cool this gadget is. Okay, so I'm gonna do lamb chops and I'm gonna do salmon. And I'm not gonna have to worry about overcooking it, undercooking it, or anything. My phone is connected to the pan and to the burner, and it's gonna tell me exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. So I'm gonna put in here lamb chops, right? So that's what I'm gonna start with. Now I'm gonna go ahead and push start cooking. Now for this, it'll go step by step for you. That's what I love about the Hestan Cue. It actually will tell you zest the lemon, get out your cilantro, get out your garnish, have your oil or your butter ready. So it really is super easy to get chef quality meals without having to be a chef, that's totally the Gadget kitchen, right? This is the ultimate Gadget right here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, and what it's gonna ask for all meats, it's gonna ask you how thick it is, because it wants to cook it perfectly to your liking. And it comes with this little ruler, so that way you always can tell how thick your meat is. Now here we go, this is asking, go ahead and place the pan onto the burner, and then go ahead and see how thick the lamb chops are. So I'm gonna go ahead, here's my little ruler, so I'm gonna go right into one, right there. You can see it's about 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in 1/2 inch. There it is. So it's 1/2 inch. Now I'm gonna go to the next step. Go ahead and do medium. And go to the next step. Now it says to go ahead and turn the machine on. And we're gonna let it preheat. And we're gonna go ahead and add the olive oil. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and season my lamb chops here. My little every breath roasted garlic and chive. Saltopia here. Remember, it looks like a lot of salt, but this is also seasoning in with the salt, so it's not all salt. It's really the perfect blend. I'm gonna go ahead and do both sides, so that way I'm ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do next step. Now we're preheating. And you already have your phone in your kitchen anyway. Might as well use it to help you cook instead of scrolling through all those things you're scrolling through. I know, I do it too. All right, so it looks like we're just about ready. All right, it says add the lamb chops. So I got my lamb chops in here. And now I'm just gonna do next step. And now it's searing the lamb chops for me. So I don't have to turn up and do high heat and kind of watch for it. I'm just gonna let the app tell me what to do, and I'm gonna let the pan get to the right temperature. All right, so it says I got about 2 minutes left. All right, here we go with a little New Year's Eve. Are you ready? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, now it's telling me to flip the chops. So now I just go ahead and give them a flip and take a look. They're perfectly seared. I don't know what heat it's on. It's doing its own thing. I don't got to worry about it. It's cooking it to perfection. All right, so I flip it. Now I got about another minute and a half left, and they'll be perfect. All right, so we're just about done. Another countdown. We're at 10 seconds, going down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that is it. The pan, the burner, the Hestan Cue did it all. Now I'm just gonna top this off. It's already cooked, but I'm just topping it off with a little herb butter. Let that melt in there, melt on top. Now, even though I put the butter on the top and you hear the sizzling sounds, actually the burner, it's turned off, because now that the lamb is cooked, it's very intuitive. So it's not gonna keep cooking. So you're not gonna burn something, or at least you're less likely to burn something when you have it in the Hestan Cue. So I can just put my butter on, let it melt, and it's gonna still maintain the right temperature. All right? Go ahead and get ready to take these off. Okay, all right, here we go. I'm gonna take off these perfect lamb chops. Oh my God, that is just, like, perfect isn't even the right words. Like, it's like more than perfect. Have you ever seen anything more beautiful? Oh my God. Perfect lamb chops that I cooked through my app. Now I'm gonna get done with the salmon here. It's gonna take me a few minutes, and then we are ready to eat. Okay, so now it's on to salmon. And again, I'm just gonna let my app in the pan do its own thing, right? I don't have to do anything. All right, so I want my salmon medium, so I already typed it in. All right, so I hit it. So I place the pan on the burner. I go ahead and push the on and then the play button. And then I add my oil. And the app and the pan, they know what to do. So I'm just gonna follow its lead. Now it tells me to season my salmon. So again, I'm just gonna season it a little bit here. Seasoning done. Then it's preheating the pan. So it's getting ready for me. All right, now it says add the salmon. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do what it says. And you know what's funny is, you know, I talk about happy to meet you all the time, and we show a lot of red meat. You know, the lamb, of course, is a red meat. We've done steaks, we've done burgers. But their seafood division is called Happy to See You, S-E-A, like the ocean. So they have so much fun with all of their puns. It's no mistake how they name all of their items. So this is their Happy to See You line of seafood. Okay, so now the salmon is actually seared and it's regulating its own temperature and bringing it down. So that way I don't have to do anything. And if it tells me I need to do something, it will. If it tells me to flip, I flip. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And so it actually knows everything to do. So I'm gonna go ahead. Now I wanna make sure everybody knows that this is not just a hot plate. You know, this is not just a burner with a pan. It just gets hot and it's kind of something like a stove that you can take on the go. It's totally different. The whole mechanics is all digital. So the little burner is digital, the pan is digital, there's even a battery that's a digital handle inside, and it is talking to the app to regulate the temperature of your food. So that way you're not just cooking your food, you're actually cooking it at the right temperature so it cooks perfectly. And that's what makes this different than any kind of hot plate you might see out there. All right, so it's still cooking the salmon. It's only got about 3 minutes left. So I'm gonna just start to prep some of my items and then we'll be back to a beautiful dinner party for as many people as you want. And now here's another really great meal idea from our friends at Happy to Meet You.
Hi, I'm Stacy. You know, tell me I can get a dinner on the table in 30 minutes, I'm happy. 20 minutes, I'm super excited, but 10 minutes, oh, I am all in, and that's exactly what we're gonna do today with our seared ahi tuna. And we're using the most beautiful tuna steaks from Happy to Meet You. This is yellowfin, the best grade A1 tuna that was caught fresh off the waters of Hawaii. They're beautiful, they have a nice sweet flavor to it, and this is literally gonna cook in just minutes. So what we wanna do first is build a great marinade. And to do that, we just need a couple of spices. So first we're gonna start out with a couple of tablespoons of soy sauce. Then we have about a tablespoon of honey. It could be regular clover honey. You could do a dark amber if you want to. Helps bring out a little bit of the sweetness because we're gonna throw in some spiciness here. This is about an inch of grated ginger, toasted sesame oil, and then a little chili paste to go in. And then we wanna add in some green scallion. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna whisk this together till the honey is nice and incorporated. You got sweet, you got citrus, you got tons of umami with the sesame oil and the soy sauce. So this is really good. So once you have this mixed really well, you're gonna take your tuna steaks and you're gonna wanna make sure that they're patted really dry with a paper towel. Put them on the plate and we're gonna pour some of the marinade over it. You wanna save a couple of teaspoons because we're gonna pour that over top as a finishing sauce. And once the pan is hot, we're gonna add in some canola oil, or I'm using avocado oil, something that can take a really high heat. That's gonna start kind of smoking right away, and then we're gonna get these tuna fillets on here for you. And this is gonna cook really fast. Tuna should be served medium rare to rare. So really what we're gonna do is just sear and cook the outside, and that is what's gonna kill off the bacteria. So you don't have to worry about this not being safe to eat. I'm thinking 30 seconds to about a minute on each side, and that is it. Beautiful, getting a nice little crust. All right, let's get that off the heat. This is ready to go. Now what we're gonna do is take this over here and we're gonna let it rest just like we would a steak for just a couple of minutes. Perfection. It's one of those dishes that seems really super fancy and hard to do, but it's not. It's just about having the right kind of marinade. Now I'm gonna put this over here on the plate so we can. And there you have it. Seriously, an impressive dish in less than 10 minutes that you will absolutely love. Susie, back to you.
And last but not least, when it comes to watermelon, you have so much juice. What do you do with all of that watermelon juice? So I have an idea for you. Our friends at Jokari have these little ice cube trays that are meant for your water bottles, or any bottles really. So how about you put some of that extra watermelon juice that's still delicious, put it in there, let it freeze, and then put it in your mug. Yeah, this is a Gadget Queen monogram mug. Of course it is. This is by our friend, Creative Road Designs. She made me this fabulous mug, and she is found on Etsy. So thank you so much for this fabulous mug. I cannot wait to use it. But take a look at the watermelon feast that we have created. Perfect watermelon slices with our fantastic dip in the center. Look at our watermelon cookies. Come on, people, we did it. This is the perfect summertime appetizer, perfect summertime treat. And then we come over here, we have our perfectly cooked salmon. Remember, that Hestan Cue told us exactly when to flip it. Do you know how long it would take you to perfect cooking salmon? Now the pan and the app, they do all the work for you. And our great watermelon and feta salad with a little hint of mint in there. We also did a little lamb chops today because why not? The Hestan Cue can handle it. I didn't have to do a thing. The app did everything in the pan. And a little bit of watermelon to go along with that. What do we do with our watermelon balls? We made a cute gumball machine. This is the perfect party scene, and you can't have a party without a couple drinks, right? So our friends at Spa Girl Cocktails sent us over some cocktails that we just jazzed up with some melon balls, and even though they are clear, they are all different. So we've got pineapple, we've got strawberry, and we have pear, and these are the perfect little vodka teenies that are already mixed and ready to go with that great fruit flavor. This has been our fabulous watermelon episode. I hope you loved everything today. If you want, you can follow the show at Gadget Queen TV or me at Susie Hestan TV, and you'll see why they call me the Gadget Queen. I'll see you next time.